last time we saw the 7 continents. The 7 continents we saw in the last session and we ended there. Now today we have to see, you can see the picture of an ocean over here. Ocean water, huge expanse of water, huge stretch of water is your ocean. And this ocean water is salty to taste. Means it has a salt proportion is more in the sea water, this ocean water, as well as the sea water. Now we have to see, as I showed you, what do you mean by ocean, and it is salty water is there in the ocean. Let us see the different oceans which are there on the earth. So the oceans which are there on the earth are the Pacific Ocean, the Atlantic Ocean, the Southern Ocean, the Indian Ocean, and the Arctic Ocean. So total there are 5 oceans on the earth. We'll repeat: Pacific, Atlantic, Southern, Indian, and Arctic at the top here. So as you have the largest continent Asia and the smallest continent Australia, similarly we have the largest ocean on the earth is your Pacific Ocean, and the smallest ocean on the earth is your Arctic Ocean. Remember this, the largest ocean is your Pacific Ocean and the smallest ocean is your Arctic Ocean. Here you can see the water body, your expanse of water, and this water which is there, it is adjoining, that means the border is connected to the land. So the border is, when it is connected to the land, here you can see this land is close to the water body. So the land along the margins of an ocean, this is the margin, the border of the ocean. The land along the margins of an ocean is called the coastal region, the coastal area. Example, Mumbai is also a coastal region and we all are living in Mumbai. That means we are living in a coastal area. Means what? We are close to the water bodies. The sea, you can see here, the sea, the bay, the strait, the gulf, and you can see the creek. These are the water bodies. Sea, bay, strait, gulf, and creek are the different water bodies. You saw the ocean. Now, you know what do you mean by ocean? As I told you, the ocean water is salty. Even the sea water is salty. It has a content of salt. So we cannot drink the sea water or the salty water. So, but here, according to the slide, these are the different water bodies: the sea, the bay, the strait, the gulf. You can see the Gulf of Suez and the Gulf of Aqaba, the creek. These are the different water bodies. Now, what is surface water? Surface means what? Your surface means the top of the land, the top, the crust, the earth's crust, the land where we live, the surface of the water. So here the surface of the land is covered with water. So there are many streams of water which provides us fresh water. Now what do you mean by fresh water? The water which is available for drinking. We can drink that water. So which are the streams of fresh water? Or we can say, which are the different water bodies which provides us fresh water or the surface water? This fresh water is not salty to taste, and that's why we can use it for drinking. So let us see which are the different water bodies for fresh water. Rills give you fresh water. Brooks, stream, rills, brooks, and stream, they give fresh water. And when they join together, these all rills, brooks, and stream, they come together, they merge together, and they form a river. So the fresh water we get from the rills. You can see the small rills over here. The cracks, from the cracks, water will flow. The rills, the brooks, you can see the stream. These are the fresh water, flowing water, which is fresh, not salty. And when they come together, the rills, the brooks, and the stream, they form a river. What happens to this river water? This is the water which is used for drinking. All these four water bodies, we can use the water for drinking. Now the river what I showed you, all that river what I showed you in the previous slide, this river, what happens to that river? This river which is there, the river, this is also a river coming from this side, another river coming from this side. So there are different rivers which are formed and they flow in from different directions. Then once they flow, they form a big river. So small rivers, small rivers will form a big river. But what do you know? What do you mean by that? The small rivers are known by a name, and that name is the tributaries. So example here, imagine this is your big river. This big river is formed. But how this big river is formed? It is because of the joining of the small rivers. What are these small rivers called? They are known as tributaries. In some places, this river, this is a river which is flowing, the river which is flowing on the surface. Now in some places, the river water cascades down. It slips down or it falls down from the top. So when the river water falls from the top, it cascades down or falls down, that river water is known as waterfall. What happens when the river meets the ocean? As I told you, small rivers will come together. That means the tributaries will come together and will form a big river. But now here, this river water is not salty. It's a fresh water which can be used for drinking. But as the river goes ahead, it will merge with the ocean. It will be connected to the ocean. So the river meets the ocean. But when the river meets the ocean water is salty. So the water in the ocean is salty, but the water in the river is fresh. Now, these are the mountainous region, or these are the mountains. And this is the base of the mountain, means the foot of the mountain. So at the foothills, low-lying areas, these are known as the low-lying areas. What do you mean by low-lying areas? The slopy areas. In the rainy season also, wherever the low-lying areas are there, the water gets collected. Example, you must have heard Andheri and Hindmata, every time the water gets collected. Why it is a low-lying area? So the water slips down wherever there is a slope and it gets collected. Similarly here also you can see the water which is here in this is a collection of water because of the rain. The rain falls and the water gets collected. So this water body which is formed because of the natural rains in a low-lying area, it is called a lake. These are the lakes, and this is how the lake is created. That means what? Your lake is also fresh water. The water in the lake is also fresh water because it is naturally collected in a low-lying area. The collection of rainwater is natural. So these are lakes. Now you can see some water which is there in the clouds. It comes in the form of rain, but it also comes in the form of snow. Now, how the snow is formed? How the snow drops are formed? The snow is formed because of the water which gets freezed in the clouds. In the clouds, the water droplets, they freeze and then they fall in the form of snow. So when they freeze, they fall in the form of snow. So this is the snowfall. The way we have rainfall, we have the snowfall. Now when the snow falls on the surface of the earth, what happens? The ice gets collected. Because of the snow, which falls on the surface, there will be a layer of ice. The layer of ice is formed on the surface of the earth or on the surface of water. So you can see here the ice which is formed. Now what happens to this layer of snow when it collects? It is in the form of ice. Snow forms ice. But what does this ice form? The layer of ice, when it is collected, it forms a huge glacier. Here you can see the glacier here. The ice pile up. It gets collected and then it slips down in a low-lying area where at a very slow speed, and this is known as glacier. So ice gets converted into glacier because of the collection of ice. What happens to the glacier? When the glacier gets collected, again a huge block is formed, and this huge block is known as iceberg. This iceberg floats on water. It does not sink in water. It floats on water. You must be wondering, ice is solid, water is liquid, and still ice is not sinking in water. The reason is the density of ice is less than water, and that's why this iceberg you can see floating on it. Now look here. In this picture, this is the surface of the earth here. That means we are on the top. Here we are living here or we are standing over here. Now when you dig a well, you can see the water here. This water which is there in the well, see, we are here on the surface of the earth. When you're digging the well, that means you're digging so deep at the depth it goes, and then only you can get water. Now this water which is there in the well, from where it comes? So imagine when the rain falls. When the rain falls, the water gets collected on the ground. Some water flows and some water gets collected down in the different layers of soil. So here when the rainwater is there, when the water falls, it gets absorbed in the soil, and that water which is absorbed in the soil gets collected over here. This is a water table. That means there are some different types of rocks, porous and non-porous rocks. These are porous rocks. What are rocks? Porous rocks, they absorb the water. So here you can see the water is already collected here, the rainwater. This is below the soil, under the soil I'm talking about. This is underground water. Underground water. That means the water which is collected under the groundwater. Now, when you dig a well, This is the water, the groundwater, which you get in the well. And this is how you get the water from the well. So this water which is collected under the ground, that groundwater is used for drinking when you dig a well. I'll show you in the next slide. So this is the groundwater which you get. This is the water which you get in the well. This is the water which is absorbed, which is collected under the soil. And whenever required, you can use. This well water is not salty. Of course, there's a mixture of different minerals, but it is not salty. This can be used for drinking purpose also with purification. Here is the well, how it looks like from outside and from inside. Now here, this is a bore well, another source. Now straight away you can see the pipe which is there, put under the ground, and when you pump it with the help of a pump, with the help of a machine, the water comes up from this pipe, and this is used for irrigation purpose. It is a bore well. So till now, today what we studied the different water bodies, different sources of water. We saw how the ice is formed. We saw how the snow is formed. Because of snow, the layer of snow will turn into ice. The layer of ice will turn into glacier, and the layer of glacier will turn into huge blocks, iceberg. So what we saw? Water vapor, we saw ice, we also saw groundwater, example, the well and the bore wells. All this together forms Earth's hydrosphere. That means the water, layer of water on the Earth, that is hydrosphere. But what does the hydrosphere consist of? It consists of the groundwater, it consists of the ice, it also consists of the water vapor. So here we end with the hydrosphere. Let's go ahead with the next layer, that is atmosphere. The layer of air means atmosphere. This is the layer of air. Different layers of air. So this is our earth surface. We are living over here on the earth. But when you go away from the earth, when you move at a height, when you move higher, these are the different layers of the air, what I have shown. So when you move at the height, the air will become rare. Rare means it will become thinner. Now what do you mean by thinner or rare? The air, when you are moving at a height, the air becomes rare, means you will not find air over there. Less air will be there. So when the air will be less, you will not get oxygen also. So the amount of oxygen will also reduce. So whenever you are going at a height away from the earth's surface, the level of oxygen is also less. That means what? Your air is thinner or rare. And this is how the aeroplanes, they fly. They need the gas cylinders anytime because they are at a height and the oxygen level is less. Similarly, when the mountaineers, they climb the mountains, they will always carry the oxygen cylinders with them because they are climbing the mountain is at a great height. So from this we come to know whichever place is at the great height, the air will be rare. That means oxygen carrying capacity will be less. So as we move higher, the air becomes thinner or rare. Now your atmosphere, that means your layer of air, consists of a mixture of gases. Which are the gases present in the atmosphere? Nitrogen, oxygen, water vapor, and carbon dioxide, including small amount of gases. Again, I'll repeat, the mixture of gases are present in the atmosphere, the layer of air. So, which are the gases present in the atmosphere? Nitrogen, oxygen, water vapor, and carbon dioxide. These are the gases, and plus there are other small amount of gases which are present in the atmosphere. Now, as I told you, layer of air means atmosphere. And look here, now in that layer of air also you will have different layers of atmosphere. One atmosphere is your basic. There are sub layers now. These are the sub layers in the atmosphere. So in the next session, I will continue with the sub layers of atmosphere. We will see the layers of atmosphere.